Hi, Arrow.
Hello, Arrow.
How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. Arrow, you've got that radio energy going on. I love that.
Well, it's only because of this book, The Verts.
I listen to iHeartRadio.
Well, thank you for listening to that. You guys have come up with a book that has touched me in the way that Mike Mulligan's Steam Shovel did when I was a kid. This is what a picture book is all about.
That's so kind. Wow. I love Mike Mulligan. That's super.
Well, the way that you bring it together, especially with, because I come from a pretty big family, and I can relate with every character in this book, especially Estie, who's an outgoing person. I want my brother to have a party. But then again, I was the one that would hide.
Oh, you were the one who would hide?
Always, always. I would just go to my bedroom. I'm fine. I'm good. You guys do your thing. I'm okay.
So how did you grow up to be an extrovert then?
I think that's because I learned how to become an actor. Because, away from this microphone, who am I?
That makes sense. I guess, I think a lot of great actors are actually introverts.
And that's why this book is so lovable. And it puts such a happy smile on your face because you're speaking about something that is actually taking place in our homes, and you're dealing with it. You're creating a solution for it.
Well, I'm thrilled. I guess the solution is to realize that there is no solution because there is no problem. Right. It's okay to be an introvert. It's okay to read a book under the couch. And it's okay to be an extrovert who wants to bring everybody over and throw some tinfoil stars up in the air.
I can totally see some great merchandise coming out of this in the way of a T-shirt that says, "Which Vert are you?"
Robin, get on that.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting that you say that, Arrow, because I was very much an introvert when I was a child, and I was a professional ballet dancer up till I was 30 before I became an illustrator. And it was also being on stage that helped me come out of myself. So young kids, I think that's really good to be forced to do some public speaking and that sort of things. Even the kids who find it really hard, it does help bring you out.
One of the best scenes inside the book that really got me was the way that the mother knew that Ivan didn't want to have the party. I'm so glad that you put something like that in this book because it was obvious that he didn't want to do it, but we needed someone to say it for us. So as readers, we would go, yes, I'm not the only one who thinks that Ivan doesn't want to do this.
Well, and it's very subtle, but mostly seen through Robin's brilliant illustrations that the father is also an extrovert. He's playing music and dancing and doing the conga line in the living room with all the guests. And the mother is in the kitchen washing dishes with Ivan. Mm-hmm. There has never been a party in which I was not the person going to the kitchen, washing the dishes. My sister is the same way. And we will argue at Thanksgiving. No, I'll clear the table. No, I'll wash all the dishes because we want to be in the kitchen by ourselves doing the work. And then we wind up doing it together.
And interesting, both of us married our opposite. Ann's husband, when you go to a restaurant with Carl, he's like the mayor of the city. You walk in and everybody, it's like cheers. Carl, everybody gets to go around and shake hands with everyone. And Anne sort of slinks behind him with something over her head, like a blanket over her head. Oh dear, do I have to talk to every table again, Carl?
I would love to watch little ones as well as parents read this book in the way, especially when Estie brings over the Blanche family, because there's going to be those that are going, oh God, here they come. Here comes that group. And there's going to be some going, yeah, more people for the party. You really do capture everybody's emotions on that.
Yes. And I first got the idea for all of this because of my stepdaughter, Josephine, who is somebody who will decide in the morning that she's going to have a giant dinner party, go to the grocery store to get food, meet total strangers at the grocery store, invite them to come to the party and say, bring all of your family and your friends. And they do. And she's overjoyed. And I'm always thinking, is there going to be enough food? How are you going to do this? Where's everybody going to sit? It always works. And everyone has the most amazing time.
What did you do differently this time around when illustrating the book?
Well, what happened is Anne and I had done 2 books together and they both took place on a farm because Anne grew up on a farm. Well, I grew up in New York City, and I'm a city girl. And so she said, when we were ready to do our 3rd book together, what would you like to draw? And I said, can we get off the farm? Can we get into the city? Can I draw people? And so thanks a lot, Anne. A book with 19 people and then she still had to throw in some animals. There's 7 animals at the end of the party in this little tiny apartment. Estie has thrown for her brother this massive party. And he's, of course, hiding behind the couch. And that's okay with Estie. She learns that that's really what he wants. And she wants to have a party. And he feels that that's okay, too.
I can't be the only one that looks at these pages and thinks that all of these colors, all these facial expressions, it's a journey all to itself. And then you go in and you read the story.
When I look at those pages, I feel like I could spend an hour or more looking at any page in this book, because there are so many little stories going on as the people are relating to one another that Robin did. It's brilliant, and it's so much work. It's so much harder to illustrate a book than it is to write one.
Well, like Anne says, as she writes, the sisters walk into the party, and then I have to figure out the whole storyline behind the sisters. It's really when I make a book, it's like I'm doing an entire movie. I have to do the casting and the costume design and figure out who all the backstories of all the people are and what's their feeling and as each scene happens. So it's that's my challenge and the fun that I have entertaining myself for 8 months while I draw these books. And it takes Anne, about an hour to, if they say, well, edit it, we wanted a whole different, not in the apartment, not in a house. At one point they said it was going to be in a house in France. Well, let's have it in an apartment in, somewhere in the world, ambiguous. And so she fixed that in about 3 seconds. But of course I had to redraw the whole book because it was in a whole different setting.
I've been a wedding DJ for 32 years, and this book kind of reminds me of mom taking over the daughter's wedding.
That makes me want to interview you.
And it's one of there's so many different things that we can all relate with. In fact, I think that there's a business learning lesson here too for companies to go in saying, okay, which one of the Verts are you? Let's grow with this. You can just be you, but we need you to be a stronger you by doing this. Let's tap into your creative energy and understand you. I mean, there's so many different lessons in life throughout this book.
I had already, even though the book only pubbed yesterday, I already had a few friends who contacted me and said, this book isn't for kids. This is for adults, because they were relating to this whole concept and maybe even understanding themselves a little bit more now as adults, rather, the concept's a little big for children, but kids totally get it because both of us already talk to kids and they completely get it. But one of the things in talking to kids I discovered the other day is that I'm more of an ambivert, which is half and half. For instance, Anne started the concept of this book came to her during the COVID period, because she was, as an introvert, thrilled to be stuck in the house for 2 years. And a lot of people, were suffering. I liked it, but I missed being with people way before Anne did. So I'm sort of a mixture.
Yeah. There's such a great moment there with Grandma always wanting to take that picture. And Ivan reminded me so much of my grandson, Carlos, because all he did was put his foot in the picture. And my grandson, Carlos, would do the same thing. There, I'm in the photo.
I gotta say, Grandma Bunny is like Robin's great creation. She is so brilliant.
It's every Jewish person, grandmother and aunt in my family who's constantly judging everybody a little bit too much and whispering in the background, why can't they be different? And then I just love that the mom and dad just say, we love them the way they are. And the kids at the end come to an understanding with each other that, just because they're different and have different opinions, it's okay. and they appreciate each other for how they each react to different circumstances.
Where can people go to find out more about what you guys have done as a creative team?
Well, you could go to a bookstore.
Nice. I like that.
Like Ann's bookstore.
Yeah, I own an independent bookstore in Nashville called Parnassus Books. And anytime you can go to your local independent bookstore and ask for books by Ann Patchett and Robin Preiss Glasser. And this is what will happen. If you look for books just by Ann Patchett, then you're going to find novels, because I'm mostly a novelist who writes for adults. And if you look up Robin Preiss Glasser, you're going to find Fancy Nancy. That's going to be the first thing you're going to find, which is this huge juggernaut of a children's book series. It's kind of changed the whole landscape of children's literature. But then if you search both of our names, you'll find 3 books. The first one was Lambslide, which is about voting on the farm. The second one is Escape Goat, which is about blaming farm animals for things you did yourself. And the third one is the Verts.
Wow. Well, please come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Thank you so much. What a joy you are.
Well, you be brilliant today,
and
okay?
I will keep listening to you.
Oh, please do. Please do, man. It's a new age of communication and connection with listeners. It gives you that opportunity to feel like that, you're part of something.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.